putting on blue. Whew, they'll be like, so you guys talked
Yeah,
about it?
we are live. And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how will it be? Welcome again to
When
Let.
Joe lands on the soil of USA of A,
Yeah.
how
How
will
will
it
it
be?
when Joe lands on the US of A soil?
Soil, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we are picking up the conversation from where we left last time. This is a part two series of Life MAJUU. This is episode 173. By the way, Mary, did you know that I usually document these episodes? I want to see my journey from day one to. I believe in the near future, I will be like Joe Rogan. You will be watching episode
Mm.
1000 and 1500.
I've been binge watching your videos and I saw that you
That you
write
probably,
numbers, yeah. So
that
yeah,
you,
I saw that.
but you don't understand most of the
Yeah, I
videos.
didn't know, but it kind of clicked.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't know why you're doing that. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing because yeah, you want to see your journey, how we started, and like in 10 years or 20 years, we will be
yeah,
looking at you'll be like, oh, this is how I started. That's amazing. I wish I
yeah.
had also done that when I started. But anyways, I now I'm gonna start. I'm
You can go,
starting. Yeah.
but you can go back to your YouTube studio and edit.
Oh,
Your if
really?
Yeah, if you want to like document this is part one or this is episode one.
Hmm.
When I started there, that's not what I was doing. And then when I got to around maybe 80, the 80th or 70th video,
Hmm.
I said to myself, okay, let me make this like a series so that people can understand my journey, because what I was talking about 2 years ago is not what I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
And what I'm talking about now, I'm sure in 2 years I'll be talking about something different.
Very true.
Yeah, so uh, it's like I'm building my own catalog.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, but I'm glad that you found a chance sometime to come back and continue our conversation. We were just talking about how we both are wearing blue. How did you know that I will wear blue?
I had no idea. I just chose blue, and I actually was planning to wear something different. But again, I made
Yeah,
up my mind, and I don't know why, actually, because I had not seen what you were wearing. I had
yeah,
no idea what you're wearing. And then
yeah.
coincidentally, we are both wearing blue, but mine has some
Some
colors.
flowers.
Mine is
Yeah.
not plain as yours.
That's such a coincidence, because even me, I was supposed to wear something else, and then it was too, what do you call it? Like
Mm.
too cringed up, like it was not ironed.
Oh, it was had some folds or
Yeah,
some lines of folding. I
yeah,
see.
that's why I decided on this.
Hmm.
How have you been though?
I've been good.
Hmm.
Arizona is treating me well. During
Right.
winter, you can wish to be in Arizona. It's the best state in America
Do
in
you see
winter.
sun? You guys have sun right
Yeah, we
now?
do. Yeah, but it's like in Africa now, like the way the weather in Africa. We see
Right,
the sun.
right.
In Arizona we see the sun 24/7, like
24/7 throughout the year.
throughout the year. And do you know how many times we get the rain? It actually doesn't rain here.
It doesn't rain.
Mm-mm. It rains like those small, tiny drops of rain,
Uh-huh.
but once in a while. Like now, we
Yeah,
had some rain way, way back. I think it was like in July, around July, August.
yeah.
That's
So
it.
what happens if you have your own house and you have a backyard? Like, do you plant grass or
We have
anything?
artificial, artificial grass.
You have
Yeah.
artificial grass.
Yeah, even my backyard. Yeah, like everywhere you see.
Are you
But there are
serious?
some places where they have, where they have plants, and we also have some trees, but I think those are trees that are meant to survive and thrive in this kind of, in the desert. And there are some places where they have grass, they grow grass and plants, but those are few. They are very few. But
Right.
most of the places in Arizona, we have artificial.
I don't know if I should say must be nice, because like during winter in Virginia, you might go for a few days without seeing sunlight. Like you wake up in the morning, it's dark, and then it gets dark again at 5. So by the time you leave work, it's dark already.
Yeah.
So if you work in a building the whole day, you might get to work when it's dark, and by the time you leave at 4 or 5, it's already dark again.
It's already dark, and you're in another day.
And
Yeah,
you're another
I
day.
know. In many by 3 p.m.
Yeah,
the sun has already gone. It's
right.
already dark. It's already night.
Yeah.
But here, the sun shines up to around 8
PM.
Yeah, 7, 8 p.m. Especially during summer, it takes long to,
That means the restaurants are making some good money, because people out outside even
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Super cool. Super cool.
Yeah.
It's such a coincidence that we are talking about your journey from Maine in the US. And for our viewers who might not be familiar with Maine, the state, that's the state that is close to Canada, on the northeast.
Yeah, northeast. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very, very cold. It's funny because this morning I got a call from a recruiter who's recruiting for medical jobs, and they were asking me if I'm willing to take up an opportunity in Maine.
In Maine? Ooh.
Yeah. And I was like, first of all, I was like, how did you even get my number? Because I've not applied for any job in Maine. And I think they're just fishing for, if you ever applied somewhere, say on Indeed, they're just fishing for contact.
And you know what, during this time of the year, during this season in winter, like nobody wants to go to work.
In Maine or in generally?
In Maine.
Yeah. Oh, because of it's so over there right now.
Yeah. So they're always in shortage of staff, and a lot of people hiring. Yeah, and it's crazy, even in summer, because a lot of people leave their jobs, they get to travel. They also they're again hiring. So it's like 6 months cycle going on and on.
Yeah, that means over there the demand is always high. I was like, bro, I've not been looking for a medical job. Why are you calling me? And I was like, if they are calling random people, that means the demand is high over there. They're
ever hiring in everything. Like every business, we are hiring. They like they're hiring all the year through.
That
they're ever hiring.
They're struggling even with the population, right? That means most people want to stay there for long.
And another thing, given the weather there, and also the workforce, people who live there, mostly they're old, these old folks, like old people,
okay,
who have retired.
Right.
So that also, there's a story I used to hear that Maine was about to be, to be connected to Massachusetts, I think, some time back, because of the population. Its population was, aging. Like people were old, nobody was there to work. So they were like, oh no, we're gonna lose our status. We don't want to lose that. So that's how they ended up opening their doors to immigrants.
Oh, initially they were not opening their doors to immigrants.
Maine is one of the whitest states in this country.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Originally, yeah.
Yeah, because I've never had or seen any black man, African or Black American, saying that I live in Maine. You are actually the first person I've spoken to who has ever
There are
lived in Maine.
few Black Americans there, like
Yeah.
very few of them.
Yeah.
And then there are immigrants, but mostly those immigrants are from Somalia, DRC, Congo, Angola, and then Rwanda and Burundi. I don't like, there are few Kenyans there.
I've never seen or heard of a Kenyan saying
Yeah.
from Maine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are few, like even I don't think I knew any Kenyan when I was there.
No.
But here I know so many of them. Yeah. So that's how they ended up, opening their doors and their borders to welcome. They started welcoming in the immigrants, to take up those jobs.
Right. So
Yeah.
talking about the demand of jobs, and especially in medical, because medical is on demand the whole of the US, but in Maine it's a special case because people don't want to settle there. So talking about that demand, is that the reason why? And I know you said your host had some contribution to that. Is that the reason why you ventured into nursing?
Well, actually, it wasn't him. It was another friend. For
Okay.
him, now he lives in Texas, but yeah, he's also one of our best friends when we came here. No, we've been like, he was my husband's friend way back, even in Rwanda. So when we came here, you know how when you come here, when you have those old friends or even people you meet, fellow immigrants, they start telling you, kind of preparing you for the life ahead where you are. So they tell you healthcare is the way to go when you want to make it here.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they told you the same thing, right?
For sure. For sure. That's what they told me. In fact, they were telling me even before I left Kenya.
Before you even left. Yeah.
Yeah. And even everyone, even with my mom, everyone had told her, like, make sure he goes to healthcare. And the last time at the airport, my mom was like, and that healthcare job, look at it very well.
When you get there, remember.
When you get there. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. So that's the same. We go through the same, it's like that's how it is, right?
Yeah.
Once you come here, they start telling you that when you're back home and then you're here, it's the same thing. Everybody you meet, your fellow immigrant, your fellow African, that's where they'll tell you, if you want to make it in this country, please go in healthcare. That's where money is. So it's the same thing that happened to me. So, but way back when I was still, a little girl, I sometimes, when you're growing up, you have all these goals of what you want to be when you grow up. So something like a nursing or becoming a nurse crossed my mind way back. That was, I think, when I was like 12, 13, those goals of teenagers, of children. So when I got here, our friend was like, oh, so now you're here. Now that you're here, so nursing is the way to go. He really encouraged me. He first he first shared it with my husband, and his husband was like, no. Me with books and studying and all these things, no. But maybe she can do it.
Right.
So they kind of pushed me into it. And I was looking, I was like, okay, so they're saying, you're new here. And somebody who has been here for some time now tells you this is the way to go. There's no way you're going to say, no, I'm not going to do that, right? You first step in there, you first throw yourself into there, and then when you get there, and then you figure out whether you want to continue with it or not. And that's what happened to me. So they kind of really encouraged me, and and this man like gave me all the information that I needed to get into it.
Yeah.
And there's something I think I didn't share with you last time when we were on this live. So when we were in Maine, we were living on an island.
There's an island in Maine.
mm.
Man, you've had some experiences.
So that island, because Maine is close to is Atlantic Ocean is like
Just
Maine is just to it.
right.
You see how California is to Pacific Ocean, so it's the same thing on the other border
So there's a
of
beach.
USA. Oh, there's so many beaches there.
In Maine, there's a beach, despite that
Oh,
cold.
my goodness, there's a beach, and in summer it's
Yeah.
also beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it gets a lot of tourists in summer.
But it's still colder, right?
Not really in summer. The thing is, their summer is very short. It's like 3 months.
Okay.
And then the cold hits in again. So we were living on an island, and this is an island of, these retired old white folks.
Right.
Yeah, rich people. And so because we were the only African or Black family there, everybody on the island knew us, like they knew our family.
Yeah.
So
They couldn't miss you.
no, they knew who we are, right?
Yeah.
They knew us, they knew who we are, and they knew where we lived and everything. So from the island to the mainland, the big town in Maine is called Portland, Maine. You have to we use the boat or a ferry, 15 minutes from the island to the mainland in Portland. So on the boat, like they're looking at you, they know, okay, so we know who this is, and we know where they are and where they're going and where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So, but I had so many friends there, like all those, because, I was staying with the kids, and my husband would go on the mainland to work. So he would stay there for like 2-3 days and then come back. Like if he went on Monday, he would come back on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, because he could not, moving back and forth on the ferry. It's also another thing.
So the ferries does not move every day. It moves.
No, it does move.
Yeah.
But every day you're moving to and fro, you have to pay.
Oh, it's also like in Kenya, we have the Mombasa. One of the cities is called the Mombasa, and the ferry is also same concept. Every time you move to the other side, you pay, and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a little bit costly.
Yeah, if you are moving every day to work and from work, you're paying this, dollars. It's by the end of the month, like you have only worked for ferry tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because I was like, even my husband doesn't know a lot of people on the island, but I know so many of them because I had enough time there with the kids. The kids were going to school there, so like I was there. So
right.
I would talk to neighbors. I'm an African woman. I would be talking to neighbors. They love that so much. Actually,
they
when
do.
I'm talking about.
Here they don't talk to each other, so they find someone who talks to them. They like it.
Yeah. And those people on the island, those old folks, they were so nice, so nice. Actually, when I'm talking about my experience in Maine, I'm talking about Peaks Island. It's called Peaks Island.
Okay.
Because that's where my memories are, right? So, it's a very nice community of good people. They are very, very, so good, so welcoming, so loving, so caring, so kind. So they were so, so nice.
Yeah.
So we used to talk, and they would be asking me, so what are you planning to do? All these kind of questions. And one day I talked to one of the gentlemen who hosted us there, and I told him, I've been thinking about going into nursing. I want to become a nurse. And he was like, hey, that's the way to go. In Maine, we don't have nurses.
Yeah.
And it was kind of during COVID, how all this healthcare workers and even nurses, they quit their jobs, most of them, during COVID. So
They
it
quit
was
and
around
during
that time.
they quit and during COVID, I heard there's a lot of money.
Yeah, there was a lot of money, but some of them also quit
Yeah, they were afraid
because
of
it
dying.
was stressful. It was too much on them.
Yeah,
And now, given your main also, with the other background that I just shared with you, so there were no
yeah,
nurses there.
yeah,
So when I shared with him this, he was like, "Oh, that's amazing. I'm gonna try to get you a scholarship on the island. I know the island can sponsor you, and you go to a nursing school." And that's
yeah.
how it started. Now I have my husband's friend who's pushing me into nothing to go together with my husband, and now I have this neighbor who is gonna talk to the island board of directors and everything so that I get a scholarship.
Right.
I had no way of saying no, I'm not going into this.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up. They sponsored me. They gave me a scholarship, and
Full scholarship.
yeah, it was full
Damn, girl. Damn.
full
First of all,
scholarship.
you come to the US and you start living in a rich neighborhood in an island. Who do you think you are? Living in an island in America. You already living life on the fast lane, and then now you are getting a scholarship. Life was good, right?
It was good. It was good. Let me tell you, it was good
Hmm.
compared to how what other people go through when they come here for the first
Right.
time. I think
Yeah.
it was good. Yeah, it was good. So I started going to school. That's how my nursing journey started actually.
Hmm.
But I was doing it. So I started with doing prerequisite, all these things they do first, math, English, coming from Africa, you know how when you come here and you're going to school, you
Hmm.
start like somebody who has never gone to school before. You
Yeah,
start from zero.
they don't believe you might even know,
Mm-mm.
you might understand their education. They want to
No.
measure you first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went through that and I completed those and but on
Mhm.
the side, remember, it was only my husband who was working, so it was hard also because we had these little children, and there's no way. I think I mentioned that last time. There's
Mhm.
no way you can go to work here when you have little children. It's well, some people do it, but it's also a challenge. It's challenging, right?
It's very challenging, and for those who do it, it's like um, some do it to get away from the stress of raising the kids, but even the money they are getting is just for paying child. What is it called? Paying for childcare,
Daycare.
daycare.
Yeah,
So
daycare.
some just do it to find money for daycare, and maybe some of them just want something to do so that they don't get stressed out. Yeah,
Yeah.
because if you think about it, nobody will do it. Just work 8 hours, get paid, say this amount of money, and then pay all of it for daycare. It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I was looking at it. It's like, so what else can I do on the side to supplement the income that he's bringing in, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to figure out something that I can do from home
Mm-hmm.
while doing all these things, and that's how I ended up going back to the skills that I used to have. I learned when I was like 8 or 9 years. Something called weaving the baskets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had learned about, those things when I was very young. I think I was 8, 9, around 8, 9, 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to those. I was like, so if I start now, I bring back these skills. Can I weave something? And remember, I'm trying to figure out if I can get something to do from home, to
Mm-hmm.
supplement on my husband's income.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw that there's no way I'm gonna go do the work. He's also working, and now he's gonna take care of the kids. So, I went back to weaving, and I tried it out. I remembered it, and now I don't know. Now talking about this without you seeing the pictures or the video of those things that I was doing, I don't know if people will be able to understand that what I'm talking about. But I tried, right? I used they call them yarn, a yarn, YARN. They use those things to make to weave, to crochet the sweaters, hats, and some people use, they weave different things, different usable things that you can use at home. So I used the yarn. I bought my yarn and a very big needle. I started weaving the basket. So we had a friend, her name is Laura, and Laura first, one day came at our house. She found me weaving.
Right.
And you know how these white people get so excited when they see you trying to do something with your hands.
Yeah.
She was so excited. She told me, you know what? You can do this and you make a living out of it. This is incredible. This is amazing. She was so excited. She was so surprised. And then she told me, you know what? If you can do this, if you can weave a basket, now that means you can also, you're artistic. You're somebody who can do a lot of things with your hands. So now you can also sew, sewing, like sewing clothes.
Sewing clothes? Like, oh yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah.
now she gave me a link of the sewing school in the area and told me, register in this sewing school. If you get a certificate, you can, you're gonna know how to use all these sewing machines and learn how to sew. So you can weave and sew, and people can buy those things at your house. Because Laura knew I had children and I had no time to go to work. Now, look at me. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm sewing, I'm weaving. So I went into sewing school. I signed up for a sewing course for 6 months.
Okay.
Now I learned how to sew. Now, those are some of the things that we go through when we come here. You're figuring out what to do.
Yeah. At the time you got your scholarship, have you started classes for nursing?
I have started classes.
Okay.
So all these things.
So you've started classes, you're sewing, you're weaving.
I'm weaving, I'm taking care of the kids, I'm still a mother, I'm doing all these things at the same time.
Right. I think someone is calling you again because your video has hanged. You're freezing. Can you hear me? Ladies and gentlemen, I think the last time we were live, Mary got a call and her video froze. So I'm thinking that's what happened again. Okay, she's back.
Can you hear me?
Back. Yeah, your video froze. Did someone call you?
There's nobody calling me. No, there's nobody calling me. Maybe it's because of internet or something. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I said, let me remove you from stage as the internet resumes. Yeah, but continue.
Yeah. So where was I even?
So you're figuring, you're doing all these things, trying to figure things out. You're in school, you're a mother, you're weaving, you're sewing.
Yeah. Joe, let me ask you, when you came here, did you know what you're going to do at first? Like when you came here straight, like do you have in your mind what you're going to do? It
takes time, and I usually encourage people to get out there and figure out, try this. You can fail or you don't like it. When I first came, my first job, I lasted there for 2 weeks only. The third week I resigned because I figured very fast, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And then I went to my second job. So before I resigned my first job, I had made multiple applications. So I went to my second job, which was not my favorite or my best choice. And I only stayed there for
Mm. Yeah.
3 days. I quit because now I had gotten a better offer.
Ah, 3 days. Oh
In
my
short, I
God.
worked in 1 month. I got here in March. In April, I had been employed 3 times in 3 jobs. So the third job I
That's
stayed
crazy.
for almost 1 year. Yeah, it takes
Yeah.
time to figure out things.
Yeah. It takes time. It does take time, really.
Yeah.
So that was me. That was me, just like you were being employed by three different people in 1 month. That was me trying to figure out if there's something that I can really do. Now, nursing, I was looking at nursing as a long-term career, right?
Correct.
But these
Mhm.
other things, I was looking at them as, as side hustles, I should say. I was looking at them as side hustles. But
Uh-huh.
nursing school, I was looking at it as a long-term career. After my children now are old enough, they have started going to school. So I was looking at it like after 3-4 years or even 5 years, now I'll be able to go and work at the hospital, be like, work as a nurse. So
Mhm.
that's the journey that I had started. I had started it. I'm someone who believes in building, starting small, and you build with time, you got something big. So I was like, so if I start, I have all these opportunities, I have people who are supporting me, I have who are encouraging me, I have the scholarship, why not? Let me start
Yeah.
doing it,
Yeah.
slowly by slowly. After 2-3 years, I don't know where it will be. Maybe I can do it as as a career. So yeah. So that went on, and I was going to school, I was sewing, I was weaving in summer, I would get my table, that island during summer, in summer season. There are a lot of tourists who come from all over the states. They come to visit the island. It's a good place. It's a very nice place. So I would put the table outside and we would do summer sales. It's an island of creatives. People, it's like that. There's so many people on the island who are so creative. People
Mhm.
who are authors, who write books. People who they make a lot of things with their hands, like intellectuals and creatives. They live on the island. So we would do summer sales. We would gather, we would do like summer sales, summer exhibitions, and then the tourists would come and buy. So that's,
Yeah.
I would register in summer sales, and they would sell some baskets. And now all the people on the island came to know me. They would even come at my house to buy the baskets and the clothes I was making. So I was
Yeah.
so determined to also come up with this fashion. I was going to become a fashion designer.
Damn. You had dreams.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the name of
Mm-hmm.
the island again?
Peaks
Oh,
Island,
Peaks Island.
Peaks,
Peaks. Peaks Island.
Aks. Are
Yeah,
you
in Maine.
googling it?
No, someone asked it on the comment section.
Oh, there's so many islands in that area, but Peaks Island is the most
Yeah.
popular one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh. So it's an artistic island basically. People do a lot of artistic things.
yeah.
Hmm.
They produce movies. They have a lot of actors there.
Oh God. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like, one of the areas in Maine that has all these creative people who come up with it has creative minds
Hmm.
living on it. So um so that's what I was telling you. So now they got to know me. So they would come at my house to buy the baskets, especially during festive season,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, I would sell out all the baskets.
You started making money from home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You had employed yourself, basically.
Basically, that's what and when I started sewing, so I had in my mind to come up with a, a brand, like a clothing brand that
Right.
mixes the African fabrics. You know, Ankara, they call it Ankara Kitenge. So mixing it with the American classic fabric. They call it jeans. You see jeans, they call it denim
Yeah, denim.
jeans. So I would mix Ankara or Kitenge with the denim and then come up with something totally new but which is also African kind of.
Right.
So and now I had a friend who lives in Kenya. So
Oh,
you
wow.
know how Maasai are good at making beads, the bracelets, beads, necklaces, all those things,
Yeah.
and shoes. So I talked to my friend. She shipped some of those things to me
Okay.
in Maine. So now I came up with a boutique or a shop or a store
The
that
tourist.
has the baskets, that has
Yeah.
the beads, the Maasai beads, and
Mm-hmm.
then the clothes.
The tourists there had no variety
Yes.
to
And they
choose
would
from.
buy them like crazy.
And that's a good hassle because you still have time to study online or something.
Yes. I
Yeah.
would go to school once in a while, but not
Mhm.
always. So I
Mm.
would be doing it online. And
Yeah.
then sometimes I would go to school. And then, yeah, I would juggle all those things at the same time.
Damn. And then how old were you in the US at this time? Like, how long had you been here at that time?
Oh, it's like now.
Not like when you're doing that business.
Yeah,
How, how,
it was 1 year. We were like 1 year.
in 1 year you already had baby a small business. The only difference is that you are selling it like you're in Africa. You did not have an online presence. You did not have a website.
Exactly. And now when I was going to school for my
Mm.
nursing class,
Mhm.
there was it's called Southern Maine Community College. So they
Mhm.
were offering a lot of, different classes. So one of my counselor at the school connected me with a student who was helping me to do my website and I produced a video. So the
Mhm.
island also sponsored my video. The island
Yeah.
sponsored the video that talks about my basket weaving.
Mhm.
So I was, I still have the video on my channel. I haven't uploaded it on my website, and even because I stopped doing those things now, I don't even know where the website is. I kind of left it there. I had given them the pictures, so I was working with that student to come up with my website, but it all
Mhm.
died. It all died there. So yeah,
Man, I feel like you had started life on the right track. That is what America looks for. Something new. Someone when I was kind of new told me it's easy to make it in America for immigrants because they are always looking for something new, something interesting that they don't have. So if you
that's
come with a
true.
fresh perspective, fresh business, fresh something that is not currently here, they
Yeah.
will promote you. They will even make you to rise up very fast because
That's very, very true. And something
yeah.
that I learned from, I realized from, I think from, how do I call them? The Americans. Okay, let me say the Americans in Maine. They're so
Mhm.
different from the Americans in Arizona or maybe in other states. Only that
Yeah.
I haven't been to those other states. Those
Uh-huh.
in Maine, they're so supportive.
It's because number one, they are not used to seeing black people. So when they
I
see a
think
black
so, yeah.
person there, they appreciate it more than, for example, when you go to Maryland, where there are so
Yeah,
many black people, the police are
yeah,
just looking to arrest them.
yeah. In Maine, they're so supportive. They like black people, like immigrants. Oh my gosh, they were
Mhm.
so supportive. Like
Mhm.
they were. they would do anything for you, everything for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were so supportive. Everything that I would be like, I want to do this, I want to come up with this. As long as you have these ideas coming, like you said, everybody would be ready to support you.
Right.
But when I came here, it's totally different. Arizona is also, it also has Spanish immigrants. So like we are competing with them, kind of, I should say.
Yeah, now it's
And
like
even the size of men is kind of small. And
mhm.
even on that island, so like people are really together, like they are connected. They know each other. They're like they're in a community. They are connected. They're like they are close. They are so close to each other.
Mhm.
But this state called Arizona is crazy. It's
Everybody for
huge. First
himself.
of all, it's huge.
Wait, first of all, it's huge, and most of the people live in the capital city, correct?
Yeah.
Because most of the other places is kind of desert.
Most of the places, other places is desert and is hilly. There are a lot of mountains. You see, when you Google Arizona, they will show you red mountains.
Right. So it's true.
Rocky red mountains, rocks, like
So
big rocks.
So it's true they're there, big rocks. It's like
they are there. Yeah. You see, they talk about Grand Canyon. You know, Arizona is another name of Arizona is Canyon State, kind of Grand Canyon State.
And it's
So
very
those
popular.
Grand Canyons are here. They are here.
So everyone else, most people will live just in the city.
So you have a valley. Even people live in the valley. Call it the valley, Phoenix area. Like you hear people in Arizona who say, "Have you been? We haven't seen you in the valley." So they mean they haven't seen you around.
Okay.
So people live in the valley below the mountain, like the mountain areas. Like the big part of it is rocky, is mountainous, is rocky.
I see.
So people live in the valleys around the mountains.
Did you stop doing that business when you moved to Arizona? That weaving business?
I stopped. When we moved to Arizona, like I had to start everything. Like I stopped what I was doing in Maine, and then I started something different, very new from what I was doing. Because now the environment was different, right? Now, all those that I shared with you, the support that I used to get from those people in Maine and people being so close to each other and being small, it was like, you know, when it is small, now it's easy for Joe to tell a friend that there's somebody who is doing this on this island or somewhere, and then they will be able to come and check you out. So that's how the word would move from one person to another. But here it's very, very, very hard. So you have to be online. You have to have that online presence. And it's kind of challenging. So I looked at it and I was like, so this business, I don't think I will thrive here. I have to, to do something different.
Yeah. Now that's when you decided to focus on the nursing thing. Are you done with school by the time you moved there, or you continued when you moved there?
So by the time I moved here, I was in the middle of it. I was 1 year after, so I had finished like the first year in nursing.
Yeah.
And then when I came here, I registered on one of the universities here. I wanted to continue with it, right? But something happened. All these things, you're planning to do this, and then something else is cooking somewhere, and then it gets to you on the way. So something else happened. So remember, there's something I also didn't tell you. That time when I was in Maine, that's when I started doing content creation. That's when I started my YouTube channel.
Okay. So you had this calling from a while. You had the journalistic aspect in you for a while.
It's the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm saying the journalistic instinct. You said you are a journalist. You studied journalism, so that
In
journalistic.
Rwanda.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
I
Rwanda.
did it even in Rwanda. So I didn't let it die
You didn't
when
let
I
it.
came here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
So
continued.
I continued, but this time on YouTube.
Right.
So that's when I came up with my YouTube channel.
Okay.
It used to have a different name. The one
Mhm.
you saw, the ITV, used to be tugendane in Kinyarwanda. That means like let's work together.
Yeah.
So that's when I came up with it. So again, coming up with YouTube, well, I wanted to continue with in my field of journalism, but I
Mhm.
also wanted to come up with something that, YouTube, I also looked at YouTube as a side hustle in future.
Yeah.
Remember what I talked about, building small and, so I said, so maybe I can start YouTube. I started doing some videos. I used my phone, editing and everything.
Mhm.
So maybe in future, in 5 years, in 2 years, in 3 years, you never know where it's gonna take me. Maybe, YouTube. You remember during COVID, it's when a lot of people actually started doing YouTube videos, right?
Yeah, because they were just at home
At
chilling.
home, yeah. So that was the same period. So yeah,
Mhm.
I was doing it. So when I moved to here, I had a friend of mine in Maine where we went to the same church. So she introduced me to her other friend who lives in California. And
Mhm.
then she told her, because she knew I was doing YouTube. So she told her friend in California, she told her one of my friends just moved to Arizona and she has this YouTube channel. She does platform. And then that's how she connected me with that friend nurse. So I'm going to now connect a nurse, and now I also to work, close together with nurses now. Of so interesting, but now I'm having new friends from the nursing background. So she connected me with her, and then that friend who is now in California, she was coming in Arizona because she grew up from Arizona. So when she came to Arizona, we went on my channel and we did the interview.
Mhm.
So now she was talking about her journey, her journey as someone who came here. Like she's been here for like over 20 years. Yeah, I think she's been in the US for over 20 years. So she came here when she was like 13. So
Okay.
she talked about her nursing journey and how she started it and challenges that she went through. And somebody who is interviewing her is also on the same journey. That's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was listening to her story, and then she talked about how she's been doing nursing, and for all those years, she went to school, to finish her nursing career for over 10 years, right? And now,
Why? Why 10 years?
oh, so in nursing, they do a lot of. You start as CNA, you go to
Oh,
LPN. I don't know even how, you know.
yeah. Yeah.
And now to the point, to the level where you reach it, where you have like, I think, masters in nursing. You
Yeah.
have you have spent like 8 years in school.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I was hearing her story, and I'm like, so now she talked about the fact that now she retired. She's no longer a nurse. And now I
Mhm.
asked her, so what do you do?
Right.
If you retired from nursing, so what
Mhm.
do you do now? And I was listening to her story. I'm going to school in the same career, in the same journey, in
Mhm.
nursing journey. And she told me, you know what? I retired because of this, all the challenges nurses go through. And then
Yeah.
she told me, I'm no longer a nurse now. I'm now independent licensed financial professional. She's into financial industry, financial services industry.
Okay.
And now I started thinking about it. So when all Africans immigrants come here, that's nursing and healthcare. That's something that most people, when we started, we talked about how even before you came here, people were telling you to join nursing and something in healthcare.
Yeah.
And I looked at myself, how people ended up pushing me into it. And here I am, I had started the journey. And now I've met somebody who has been on the same journey, but now they are no longer there. And I'm like, so this is confusing.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Now you are about to start the journey. You're about to become an RN, but someone is telling you already. I started learning German. Someone is telling you already that they're changing their mind.
They're
Now you're
done with it.
confused. They're done
They're
with it.
done with it.
You're like, is it worth it?
That was the question. I'm like, so is it worth it?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to keep on this journey, or like, I got confused. And then this woman, it didn't stop from that interview. So I kept talking with her. Like, I kept talking with her. I kept asking her questions. And she's the one who made me quit my nursing journey. So next time.
So wait, at this time you were in school, right? You had not finished
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, I had not.
You did not even start working in a hospital.
Not yet.
You just talked to her and changed your mind. Why? Before experiencing it hands-on. Yeah, you should have experienced it hands-on. Maybe you could have liked it.
Well, it's because of, how when somebody tells you, I have been there.
Yeah.
And that's how we end up also going there, because some people have been here before us. They tell us, we know America. We have been in this country for 10 years, for 5 years, for 3 years, for a year. You just came in. So I know everything. So if I tell you do this, please listen to me. Because I've been here. I've been here for some time. I have so in other words, what they're telling you, I have experience. I have experience in this. I have more experience than you. So you learn from me. That's what they're telling you, in other words. So she told me, it was the same thing. She told me, I've been there. I've done it all. I've seen it all. There's nothing much you're going to get there.
Yeah.
So, and I was thinking to my mind, actually, we kept talking. And then I was like, so if she has been there, she's telling me she has been there. She have done it. She have done it. Trust me, she has done it. So what am I really going to get that is different from what she got? Now she's telling me she changed. She retired from that, and this is where she is. And this is what she's doing.
Yeah.
And then time came, I sat with her and she showed me everything and showed me the money that she's making. Remember, I was going into nursing just to make money. It was not my passion.
Yeah, everyone, we are all told that that's where the money is.
Yeah, that's what. And sometimes when we get there, we get. I don't want to use this word, that confused. But when we are trying to console ourselves, we say, "Oh, nursing is my passion," but that's not true. You're there for money.
Money is our passion. Nobody left.
Money is our passion. Money is our number one passion.
Nobody left Africa for passion. We left Africa
exactly.
for money.
So we confuse that.
Yeah. We left
so
Africa.
We confuse that. We came here for money.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things we had back home. We had our friends, we had our community, we had our family members, we had good food. Talk about it. We had all these good things there back home. Yeah. But we left them to come here to look for greener pastures. We came here to look for money, which is money.
Yeah.
So when we get here, we get confused with all these things going on around us. And then remember when we talked about, being in our comfort zone and settling in, and so you settle in wherever you're doing and you say like, oh, this is my passion. No, that's not your passion.
No, you're
That's not.
you're just there for the money. And the chase for money, I've come to realize at the end it leaves most people very empty. You know, most people come and chase the money, especially in healthcare. Chase the money, and then you get to a point when then you realize this money will never be enough. In fact, like
Yeah,
it's like a trick, that they give you, because you get the money makes you afford the lifestyle, and
it's a
then
drug. It's a
it's a
drug. It's
drug.
like a drug.
Yeah, it's like a drug that you get addicted to and you cannot
Mm-hmm.
stop about,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
now this money has bought you a certain lifestyle. Now you're maybe driving a Lexus, maybe now you're
Yeah.
driving a Benz, maybe now you're driving some good car, maybe you're living in a good neighborhood. Now you have to continue working or using this drug to
Yeah.
maintain this lifestyle.
That's lifestyle. Yeah, that's
And
true.
then years pass by, you're 10 years in, you're 20 years in, you look back, you're like, okay, I've been in the US for 20 years.
But
Now,
what do I have to show for it?
what do I have to show for it? It's just my house, my car. Um, and at the same time, the American culture will never allow you to stay without debt. The more
No.
they pay you, the more they are putting circumstances on your way for you to accumulate more debt. They will
Mm-hmm.
be like, okay, now Mary, you're an RN, you're making 8,000 a month. Now we have an offer for you, blah, blah, blah. Before you know it, you're like 100,000 in debt. Oh my God. Now you have to again to work to pay off this debt. Because I worked in a healthcare facility once,
Mm.
and there were two white ladies who are in their mid 60s,
Mm.
and there was a Nigerian woman who was
Mm.
72. So the two
Mm-hmm.
ladies were full-time employees. The Nigerian woman was contract travel nurse.
Mm.
And I asked her, like literally, she was so old. At this time, she cannot stand straight. She
Oh,
kind of bend in while walking, and she
yeah.
can't even do much. So I
Mm.
asked her, "Why are you here?" Like, first of all, I asked her, when did you come to the US? And she was like, 30 years ago. 30, 30.
Wow.
So it's like she came when she was early 40s.
Mm.
Now she's been here 30 years, and she was an RN in Nigeria. So when she came
Mm.
here, the first thing she did was continue to be an RN.
Mm.
She has been an RN for 30 years.
Yeah.
And majority of those years she has been traveling. And travel nurses
Mm.
don't make small money. They
Yeah.
make some good money. So I'm like, you've been traveling for over 20 years. Has it never been enough for you to buy your way out from this rat race? Oh, she gave me flimsy excuses. I just do this because I don't want to stay home. I'll get bored at home, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, this is BS. For someone who has money, you can find other social activities, not come to
Yeah.
work.
You cannot get bored at home. It's,
You
I
cannot get
know.
bored at home because you're getting
Yeah.
old. And even if you get bored, if you have money and you don't have to work,
Travel. Go travel. Why should you sit
sure,
home when you have money?
you have things to do and
Yeah.
places to go, and your age mates to hang out with.
Yeah.
But coming to those shifts, and they were second, that it's the second shift. The second shift in healthcare is the toughest.
I know.
The first shift is usually slower because patients are just waking up, they have
Mm.
visitation. But second shift, from
It's
mostly from
crazy.
2 to around midnight, is usually very crazy.
Mm.
I was working that shift. I was like, bro, there's no way I'm fucking 70. Oh, there's no way I'm 70. Even cast because I'm so angry.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm 70 and I'm working a second shift, a full 8 hours.
Wow.
For her, it was 12 hours because she was an RN. So
72.
at 72, and I realized this thing is a drug.
It is.
It will never get enough, number one.
No way. It will never.
Yeah, America will never give you money to just go retire and have fun. No, they will put you in that system and that rat
Yo,
race.
let me tell you something. Now that we are talking about this,
Mhm.
as long as you are an employee.
Right.
As long as you are an employee,
Right.
you will never make enough. And I don't think it's only America. I think even back home in Africa, it's, well, maybe to a small level, but when you come here, it's crazy. As long as you're working for somebody, as long as you're an employee, you will never make enough money here.
Yeah.
You will never.
As long as you're an employee, you will never make enough money to actually be free. You know, freedom is everything. Freedom is
It
the
is.
ability to do what you want when you want.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Freedom of time, freedom of choice, freedom of location. You can never have those when you are working for somebody. When you're employed, you
and
will never have those.
I realized that when I started doing like a small education on IT, and I was doing some research, and I found out that there are people who work for Google, the top programmers, top software developers. And you know, if you work for Google in terms of salary, you are at least, in terms of salary, at least you're making almost 400,000 a year, minimum. And on top of that, you have stock options. You have so many benefits if you're working for a company like Google. And people were quitting. And I was like, why would you quit Google with almost
When you
500,000?
have all that, I know.
I was like, I didn't know, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then doing a little bit of a research, I realized that for you to make 400,000 a year as an employee, that means, number one, you don't have a life.
Yeah, exactly.
Those guys basically live on Google campus. They live there.
Yeah.
They even allow you to bring your dogs, do everything. You live there, work there. Your work is your life.
Yeah.
So, and the amount of work you do, even you feel like the 400,000 a year is not enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah. So as long as you're working, you will never have satisfaction. You know, sometimes starting your own business, you can make a small amount of money. Like if I go out today, I'm running a business and even make $100, I know that's my $100.
That's your money. That's your $100.
Yeah, I know.
The only thing you will do, you will pay, you will pay taxes on that $100, but which is also different from the taxes you pay when you are an employee.
Definitely
That also is very
big
different.
difference. Yeah.
But
So
I think that's something that, now that we are talking about this, I think that's something that most of African immigrants get trapped into because of the mindset that we have, when given where we grew up from and the way we were brought up, we don't have this mindset the only mindset that we have is of employee, of working for somebody, working, getting paid.
Yeah.
We don't think we can survive by starting a business, by working for yourself. Let me say it like that.
Yeah. But let me ask
So
you.
that's how you end up, like the salary. That's how the salary becomes a drug for you to forget about all your dreams. When you are getting this monthly or hourly salary, it keeps coming. So you just cannot imagine that day that paycheck is going to stop coming.
When the paycheck, and for some reason, even for top earners, basically almost every American cannot go, at least half of Americans cannot miss one paycheck. They miss one paycheck, the second paycheck, they're out, they're homeless.
They're done.
They're done. But for majority of Americans, they cannot miss 3 consecutive paychecks. That means most Americans cannot not work for 2 months, basically.
Yeah.
Even top earners. So you do realize even the top earners, it's like this drug does not choose if you're earning more or less. Earners, for some reason, even top earners, for some reason, they cannot just say, okay, I'll not work for 6 months. No, they're living paycheck to paycheck to
It
some
can
extent.
never happen. It can
It
never
can.
happen. Yeah. The moment they stop, their life now is upside down.
Yeah.
And that's, by the way, that's how the American system is designed.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is designed. It's not by mistake or anything. It's by design.
It's not
So
by
when
coincidence.
you come here, you gotta know how the system works.
So now that you know this, what do you think about your business that you abandoned? Do you think if you had continued with that business, life would be different compared to being employed? Because I feel like you already had something unique, something new that the Americans don't have. You have like a clientele. The only thing you did not have is online presence. You are just selling by word of mouth.
Yeah,
Because
the
when you were saying,
traditional way.
yeah,
I was
when you were
doing the
saying that,
traditional way. Yeah.
yeah, when you're saying that, I was just thinking of Shopify and Amazon and all these places sellers can go and sell their products. And you can
Mm,
just be making money from home. There are
mm,
fulfillment centers or fulfillment companies that someone orders, you work with a fulfillment company, they fulfill your order, they take their cart, you take your cart while sitting at home. What do you
mm.
think about such online businesses for people who are coming to the US? Digital marketing, I feel like it's one of the area people have ignored a lot. And for immigrants, if you're staying home like for 3 months before you get your papers after you move to the US, learn some online skill that you can start earning when you're home, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a viable business. It's yeah, like you said, people ignore that.
Yeah.
But if I had gone on with the, the speed and everything that I had, if I had gone on, now I would be, I would be up there. I
Yeah.
would be up there because I was trying to get myself an online presence. I would
Hmm.
have finished that. But it was also kind of challenging, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, for example, when it came, talk about um, sewing, coming up with all the clothes and also weaving,
Hmm.
you use a lot of time
Yeah.
just to create something, to come up with something.
Yeah.
That and when you come up with that product, you find that you're not selling it, even like people don't value the time and the
It's true.
energy you put in to come up with that thing. Let's say
Yeah.
if it's a basket, I can weave a basket, and it takes me like 15 days, around 15 days, 2 weeks, and then I
Mhm.
cannot sell it over $100.
Because the culture here is people like microwave things here very
Mm-hmm.
fast, like
Mm-hmm.
buying clothes on Walmart that do not, last.
To not last for a week.
Yeah. So if you
Yeah,
give them something that is man-made, they don't believe it can be costly.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was also looking at it. How much time do I put in here, and how much money do I get at the end of it?
Mm.
Even if I'm to say that maybe let me hire somebody who
Mhm.
can help me to, in terms of volumes, to come up with a lot of products,
Mhm.
I will still have to pay that person
Yeah.
the money that I had not yet got from what I was doing. So it was also challenging.
Mhm.
So eventually I kind I didn't stop that like completely, because I kind of have passion for it,
Mhm.
I'm handy, I have all these skills in my hands. I think I'll come back to it, but not as and I'm also planning to go back to school. I'm picking up my nursing career
Again.
again. I'm picking it up.
This
But
time is for
after
real.
I have established my business, which now I switched from all those that I was doing, and now I focused here in the financial industry, which my friend, the one I interviewed, introduced me to, the one who had been a nurse and now she retired.
Mm.
So that's what now I have been building for the past 2 years. And it's now established. So that's how now I started thinking about going back to all those things that I dropped on the way.
Yeah, because mentioned that the trick is to go to the gym, avoid lifestyle upgrade, stack cash until you have enough capital to start your business. Yeah, like the one thing that we get trapped on is the lifestyle upgrades. You know,
Yeah, that one.
we get
The
stuck.
one we were talking about before coming on air.
Yeah, you get stuck on the lifestyle upgrade, and once you upgrade your life, now you have to work to maintain that life.
Yeah.
So for
And
you,
go ahead.
I was gonna say for you now going back to nursing is to finance your business.
No. You know why I will go back to nursing?
Mm-hmm.
2 things. One, I don't want to let down those people who had given me the scholarship.
Wait, it's still there?
No.
Okay.
But the fact that they had given it to me,
Yeah.
I just want to become a nurse. For them,
Yeah.
not for me. For them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one. 2,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get, how do I call it? Like, you know, when you come here, you spend here some time, and then you go back to Africa without US education.
Yeah, that's another thing that we talked about. Part of the exit plan, if you want to exit, I believe in my view, is come here, get your, mostly the citizenship is crucial. Green card is good, but the green card, you have to be in 1 year, every 6 months, you have to report to the United States, basically, so that you don't lose your green card. But citizenship, you don't have to. So once you have your citizenship and you have your American education, that's it, bro. Like you can go anywhere else. Yeah.
So that's something that you have to show for the fact that you went to America for all this time. You have been to USA.
Yeah. You basically go back with something to show for.
Exactly. So that's why I'm gonna go back to school. Just for
And
those 2 things. But I'm not going back to school in nursing to make money. No. There's no money there.
There's no money. And you know the good thing about becoming a nurse and having American education is that even in the event that you decide to go back to Africa or any other continent, you can use your American education.
Yeah, you can apply it.
To apply for a job there, or even to start your own clinic or business or something.
Yes.
Because I know, like in Kenya, if you want to start your own clinic or a small hospital, you either need to be a doctor or a nurse practitioner, and the manager or the CEO has to be an RN. So perhaps you can, if you want to start a business, you can find a doctor or a NP to sign you off, and then employ yourself as the CEO because you're already an RN. And then now you'll employ other nurses and CNAs. You know, I know a Kenyan who did that. He was a nurse here. He went back to Kenya, started a business, a hospital business, a small hospital. But you know, hospital, even if it has 10 patients, you're making good money.
You're good. You're good. As long as it's a hospital.
Yeah, you're good to go. I think that's the way. That's the way to go. American education, definitely, you should live with some.
Yeah, it's very, very, very important.
Yeah.
That's why I'm gonna go back there and get it.
Yeah, you should. You should. And I'm happy for you. Like it has not taken so long for you to figure this out, because one of the things that I've noticed with most of us Africans is it takes us so long to figure out.
Yeah, it does. It does take a lot of time. Yeah.
It takes.
You finish like the first 10 years.
Yeah.
When you're just there.
Yeah.
When you haven't figured out something you want to do with your life here.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be tough or hard on someone who's finished the first 5 years, because my host was like, 5 years, you need 5 years to settle down in America. That's what he's told me. He told me at
that's
first.
true.
But once you get to your 10th year, and then you get to your 15th year, and 20 and 25 going on forward, and you're still doing the same thing,
you are done. You're screwed.
You're screwed.
Screwed.
You're definitely messing yourself up. So I started just saying weird stuff when I was new, my first year, because things didn't make sense for me. This is not what I came here for, you know. People are were looking at me like, bro, relax, you just got here. Like I'm crazy, you know.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? But I was just not buying into the idea, this normal clocking in, clocking out life. And I realized if you don't employ yourself here, you're done, bro. Like,
you're done. You're done. You're basically done.
People in Rwanda will be seeing you in a good house, driving a good car, and say that you made it, that you're rich.
They have no idea of what is going on behind the scenes. They're just looking at you, and people do it a lot. They go on social media. They portray the fake life. Right. And people back home believe in what they're seeing. But that's very, very different from the real life they are living here.
Oh yeah. And even sometimes and maybe speaking for myself, I've been in situations where I just post a normal picture. Say I am in town, or I'm just somewhere standing next to my car or someone else's car, or I'm sitting in a restaurant, some random picture. But because of the location of that picture and how clean the state is, and my shoes are clean, and I look like I have a clean t-shirt, people will automatically assume that this guy is balling and is trying to show off, you know. But they don't know that's your normal. That's your everyday normal. And that's not just you because you're special. That's everyone's normal. Everyone will drive like a small car. Everyone will live in a certain neighborhood. So people will just assume, oh my God, this guy or this chick she's now a millionaire, right?
She's killing it.
They don't know behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, you cannot even smile because the math is not mathing.
It's not mathing. The bills are choking you. They're here.
Yeah, they're here.
They're here choking you. So
so once we realize the matrix, but then let me go to the comments a little bit and welcome you guys as we end the show. I forgot to welcome you. Thank you for being here. You guys would have chosen to be anywhere else in the world, but you came here. Joe Wanyonyi was our top performer, but I believe he left. I believe he's gotten his...
Amepata DV yake.
So what next?
What next? Come on, come, Joel.
What next for him ni kuja kuingia kwa system matrix What's next for him ni kuingia kwa system. I think that was Alice was asking about Joel, what he needs next. Let me skip Joel. He sent so many messages at first.
Okay.
He was asking before he left if being a mechanic pays well.
Being a mechanic?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I believe it does.
It does?
Do you take your vehicle to the mechanic? Personally?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Or your one husband does it?
No.
Because for most ladies, they might not be aware about mechanics. Mechanics here make some good money.
They do.
And not just mechanics. I believe anything that you can do with your hands, like what you are doing.
Yeah. Anything that you can do with your hands.
With your hands here, even being a barber. Like the average haircut here is $50.
Yeah, $50.
that guy will waste time on your head. He already finished, but he's just wasting time so that he makes sure that his chef, he has taken at least 1 hour on you, so that he knows that I've made $50 in 1 hour.
$50. Yeah.
So that guy
That's
basically
true.
just plays with the machine and makes $50 in 30 to 1 hour, 30 to 40 minutes. But someone who's gone to college cannot, most people who've gone to college cannot even make $50 an hour. And if they do, there's taxes on there, you know.
That's what we I think we talked a little bit about it some time back. So what we call white collar jobs in Africa.
Yeah.
Right. Here, when you have that, you are the poorest guy in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah. Here, white collar jobs are my first main job. Okay, not my first job. After I quit my first job after 2 weeks, I quit the second one after the 3 days. Now, the first main job that I stayed for 1 year was a white collar job. I was working in an office, wearing suits every day.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, had a big chair, singing every day, but
swinging around.
I was so broke. I could not even afford to go buy fast food, like $15 fast food for lunch. I would stay hungry during lunchtime.
But you're putting on a suit and a tie.
Yeah.
Yet you're hungry.
I'm hungry and I have a suit and a tie.
Just think about it.
People are calling me sir.
I know. But you're broke as hell.
But I am broke as hell. Meanwhile, I was leasing apartments at the time. Meanwhile, and those are top dollar apartments in Northern Virginia. The people who were coming to look for those apartments, I would see a Mexican guy who's a landscaper just come in all dirty with dirty boots, with dirty nails. Come in and they can easily afford a $3,000 apartment. And I'm like, what the hell? This guy cannot even speak English, you know, and they can afford it because they've been busting their ass out there while I'm swinging on my chair, you know. So those white collar jobs, there's nothing there. So mechanic, if Joel, that's your vision, go for it, bruv.
So I think two things. If you when you get here, try to find your way out by starting your own business. That's one. Two, if you cannot, like Joel, do something with your hands. Anything that you can do with your hands, but not sitting in an office with a suit and a tie.
Or doing all these jobs that most people tell us to start. Oh, go start at McDonald's. Go start at Wendy's, wiping floors and washing dishes, or go start at Amazon.
In a warehouse. In Amazon warehouse.
I feel like, yes, it's okay to start. If you need your first paycheck, you need your first few thousands of dollars when you're living with your host, fine, you can do it, but not for long, you know.
For long. You're just getting started.
Yeah, just start.
But don't just sit on it and think that you're there.
Like you're there. And I think the problem is most of us, once we get those small jobs, we get the first 2 paychecks, we can easily qualify for an apartment now, or maybe buy a car. Now the problem is we have a small amount of money and we are committing that small amount of money to something big like an apartment or a car. Now you find that we have this big purchase, we cannot leave this bad job. Now we are staying there because
now you're trapped. Now you're done.
Now you're done. So
and Joe, now you think about, or maybe we have what we call black tax, or maybe we call it immigrant tax because all black people don't do that. Maybe we call it African immigrant tax.
Yeah, let's call it that, because you cannot just be in America and you're not giving people money back at home. They will say you went to America and started feeling yourself. You think you're so important
and
now.
They expect you to do that the day you landed here before you even get that job.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have no mercy. What you're going through, that's your problem. You send us money first. We will listen to you later. Junita Wanjiko saying, So a dude who was a doc and a big doctor left his career, is now focusing on videos in the forest.
Yeah. You know, when he focuses on those videos, they can pay him more money than what he was making as a doctor.
Yeah, and even forgetting the money, he has something that we all that have those professions don't have. Peace
Don't
of
have.
mind.
He has peace of mind. He
Peace
has
of mind.
freedom. He has
Freedom.
freedom of everything that he wants.
Yeah. Freedom
And
of movement.
when you get something in this country, Joe, let me tell you something. When you get something that you can do in this country that gives you money, that's one,
Yeah.
and two, gives you freedom.
Oh man,
Trust me,
now you are in
you have
America.
landed. You have
now,
landed in America.
now you are living the American dream.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
That's the American dream. By the way,
Yeah.
people think that American dream is about this money we are talking about or
No.
stuff. That's the American dream. Freedom.
Yeah. Freedom is the American
When you have
dream.
freedom, that's the American dream.
Yeah, and Jeremy up here was talking about 25 an hour when you do the math to almost 50,000 a year. But apparently, you're still not making the 50,000 a year. You're making approximately 40,000 because of the taxes. So that's the other thing that we get confused as employees. You go for an interview and they quote, will give you 25 an hour, or think, oh shit, I'm earning 25 an hour. In your mind, in fact, as an immigrant, the first thing you do is calculate
You're comparing it with how much you used to make back home.
Yeah.
And you forget that the kind of life, the cost of life is different.
Yeah. So
here you make this 25, but the things the taxes, the bills, the things you're paying on this 25.
And even it's double taxation. This what Jeremy did here was applying tax on the 50,000. That this is the federal tax. You've not added the state tax, or when you go buy something, you still taxed.
You still have to pay taxes.
When you transfer money, you're being taxed.
When you
do anything you do, you're being taxed in between. So they're taxing you on your tax.
On the money that you already you paid taxes on. You pay taxes here and there. Oh my gosh.
So on the 40,000, they are still taxing when you spend it. So
basically on the 40,000, on this $25 you worked for an hour, probably what went into your pocket was like half of it, 20,000.
Oh yeah. What actually went to your pocket was at least 20,000, and that 20,000 probably is what you paid for rent or something.
Exactly.
The only rent
you bought groceries, you paid for rent, you paid bills.
Groceries that we're not even counting groceries, because you'll be taxed when you buy groceries.
Oh yeah. You're right. Oh my
So the only thing that you're not taxed when you pay for is rent. If you pay for your car note, you're being taxed. And PK here was asking which business. I think business is based on your interest. You cannot you cannot just start a business because everyone is starting a business. You look at what you like to do and then focus on that. Yeah.
Also, Joe, when we're talking about business, there are some businesses what you like to do, that's one thing, but also how much capital do you need to get started with that one? Because you might be having something that you like to do, you have interest in, but the capital, the amount of money that you need to start that business is also crazy. You will not do that.
You're right. Yeah.
You will need to save a lot of money for a long time. And now that's another thing. So how are you going to survive when you're saving to start a business? That's also another challenge.
I feel like you start small. If you, for example, want to start one of the biggest businesses in America is a real estate business. You want to have your own real estate company, for example, and at least one house costs $500,000. That is a big start. So maybe you would start small. Especially things that don't require a lot of capital are things that you can do online.
And yes, that's true.
Yeah, and what I've learned here is that it's so connected. People don't talk to each other. People don't go places by foot. People don't hang out. People just find the information through media, either it's TV, YouTube, whatever. So if you can find a business that you can conduct digitally, people here will just sit at, they like ordering, they like clicking, and it's a consumer economy.
Clicking.
It's
They just
it's a
click.
consumer economy. They just click and buy, click, click. They are told, purchase this, and it's on your credit. You don't even have to have the real money. It's credit. They will click and use their credit to buy. So
Yeah.
I was just even like reading about digital marketing this morning, and I realized that when I was hearing about digital marketing in Kenya, people who were doing it were struggling. They were not making anything. But again, in Kenya, most people are not. At the time, most people were not online. But
Yeah.
right now, in this economy, most people are online. So if you can find a digital product or a real product that you can sell online, that minimizes a lot of capital, because you're not even interacting with like an office. You don't have to have like a
No overhead. No overhead.
No overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Which makes it easier.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your journey. And for those who've been tuned in, some might think that sisi tumefika, sasa tutaki wengine wafike, that we are here now, we don't want anyone else to come. We are discouraging them. No, far from.
We are not.
Yeah, we are trying to say think differently, because we cannot keep on doing the same things like the whoever came before us did and expect to do any better than them.
And do you know what actually insanity means? Doing the same thing over and over while expecting different results.
Right.
So that's what we would be basically doing.
Yeah. And I know for someone who's buying into this idea, they're like, okay, Joe and Mary, if I'm starting a business, and you know how businesses take time before they pick up, how will I be paying my bills? Trust me, I've been in that situation myself. I've been in a situation where I'm working just because I need to pay my bills, but that's not what I want to do. And then I realized the trick is what this guy said out here. The trick is to downsize. Downsize as much as you can. Downsize as much as you can. And this is something that the problem with downsizing, as we conclude now, let me say this. Because we are in America, and America is associated with luxury, comfort, and not suffering. You came from Africa, probably, where you are used to tough life. You are not afraid to suffer. You are not afraid to be uncomfortable in Africa. But now you are in America, you do not want to look like you're suffering. You do not want to look like things are not going on with you, or be uncomfortable. Now, because we do not...
That's the kind of life that you were used to before even coming here.
Yeah, before even coming here. In fact, there are people who came to the US straight from the countryside. They had not even seen they had not even lived in a city before. And then all of a sudden you're in America and you're pretending you cannot be uncomfortable. The only way to gain this freedom and money, like the American dream for me, it's the ability to do what you want when you want, and also you're able to meet your needs, is to downsize to a way that you don't feel the need, or you don't have to work to pay your bills. Like if you have like a big house, which is a mortgage or a rent above 2,000, if you're depending on your business for that, you might be risking. But for single people, especially single people, usually all my content is on the view of a single individual like me who came by themselves. If you're a single person, I don't see a need why you need a whole 2-bedroom. It's just you, bro. I don't even, in your first year, I don't see a need why you need a whole 1-bedroom by yourself. In my first year, I had a good job, but I was living in a studio Why do I need a 1-bedroom over there? And I'm not even staying in that house. I go to work, come sleep.
You're
Go to
staying
work.
at your job.
Yeah. I'm staying
Yeah.
at my job. Why do I need a whole 1-bedroom? When I started school, after my first year, I lived even with roommates. I didn't want to go find an apartment, and then now I have to be in school, and also I have to find a job, a full-time job, to pay for an apartment.
For you to pay for that apartment.
And I'm not even staying in that apartment most of my life. I only come at 9 or 8. I cook
just
or I
to
do
sleep.
something, and I sleep, and in the morning I'm gone. So me, I've lived even with roommates because I've always wanted to downsize as much as possible so that I can be able to do what I want. The money that I would have paid for an apartment, now I will use it to advance in other ways, you know. So the trick is, if you want to do the business route, which will give you freedom, is do not overcommit yourself in this American lifestyle.
And also stop looking at your friends, comparing yourself with other people.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what they're doing or what they're going through for them to look the way they're looking, right? Just live in your own means. Do your things. Live your life.
Yeah, they say comparison is a thief of joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one time I was driving a very sleek car, and at the time was really at the same time my finances were really struggling, and I was so stressed out. And this guy saw me pulling in on the parking lot at work, and I was just and I was reversing, and he was just standing there. He was like, "Joe, this is the machine that you're spinning. I need to talk to you. I need to know what you're doing right." And in my head, I was like, if this guy knew.
No.
I was like, if this guy knew
the truth.
if he knew that I am crying. There's a song in Kenya that goes by, heri ulie kwa Range Rover ama ucheke kwa baiskeli. Do you want to cry in a Range Rover, or do you want to smile in a bicycle? So if only he knew that I am crying in a Range Rover.
I know.
So do not compare, do not look at whoever, oh, this is driving this car, this lives in this house, this wears this. No, you don't know what they are going through to put up that show, Yeah.
And we are in a digital world. You have to have a tough mind. Joe, you have to have a tough mind.
You need a tough mind to not to be able to compare.
To ignore whatever you're seeing on the internet and live your life. I know we are talking about these things, but it's not easy to do. Let me tell you. You see Joe in a Range Rover.
Yeah.
He's crying, but you don't know that. But all you're looking at is the Range Rover.
Yeah.
So it will take a tough mind not to look at the Range Rover and be taken by it.
Yeah. And allow me to say this, because now we are talking a Range Rover. Assuming I have this Range Rover, right? Do you know that
you
time?
Will have it. You're gonna have it.
I will. Amen. I will.
Amen.
But that vehicle that we are talking, it's because I just don't want to tell everyone the kind of vehicle I was driving. But assuming it's a Range Rover, at that time, for me to be able to drive that vehicle, I had actually survived a near-death experience with my previous car. Near-death experience. Like I was almost dying in a road accident, and that vehicle was totaled. So my insurance gave me some money, and that's how I was able now to buy that Range Rover. But someone would think, oh my God, this guy is balling, has this kind of money. They don't know the circumstances.
They don't know where it came from.
Where it came from. And that is true. For Kenyans who are watching, for example, we've seen stories of online traders, all these flashy young boys in Nairobi, mysteriously dying, because they've shown a lot of money online, expensive cars, but they've we don't know what they've been doing at the background to get all these flashy cars, and then we find them murdered somewhere in a ditch. And then the story, years, days later or months later, you hear they duped someone, they stole from someone, they were in a cult, they were doing all this manner of things. So you don't envy anybody, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Joe, what are we talking about next time? Are we talking about the American dream? Are we talking about the African dream in America?
Now we've covered the introduction stages. The introduction stages was you identify, I mean, introducing yourself and your journey so far. But now, since we've covered that, we can just talk about random experiences here abroad, because my channel is usually, I like bringing guests here so that they can share a different perspective of the American life, so that most people who are in Africa might not be confused by what they see on TV. At least we can give them real life experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love, I'll be on. I love sharing real life experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that comment from PK.
Why do you think most people who are already here don't tell people the truth or show them how to maneuver? They just wait them to make mistakes, because that's also a thing with us Africans.
I think it's because of the high expectations that people, when first of all, when you're living, coming here, there's a way people look at you, right? In our society, there's a way they take you. There's a way they look at you. So when you get here, you don't want to disappoint them. You don't want to show them the different way from what they were looking, you know, the kind of the way they were looking at you. You don't want to show them the reality. So you kind of keep hiding
I
the
believe
reality, the kind.
I think what PK was alluding to was people who are already here. You know what? Because maybe the people you've met might have led you or shown you the right way. In my view, I know that I've interacted with so many Kenyans or Africans who will not be straight up with me, tell me the truth or show me the way. They will want me to fail and start small like they did. You know, if they started at McDonald's, most of Africans will want you to start at McDonald's. If they,
that's something we talked about last time. Somebody who hosts you here, or that person that you connect with, that you surround yourself with, they can either make or break you here, like your future life in USA. Yeah. But I don't know why. I think they should, myself, like what I'm doing now, like when somebody reaches out to me, or when I know that there's somebody that I know who is very new here, I, giving unsolicited advice.
Wait, if someone
I like
is
to
new,
reach out to them.
when someone is
you
new,
tell them.
you give them unsolicited advice.
You tell them you tell them the truth, so they are the ones to decide what to do with the information you have, what to do with the advice you gave them. As an adult, you talk to them, you tell them, and that's what me personally, at least personally, that's what I do. When I know there's somebody in the neighborhood, or when I meet somebody, I like to ask them, how long have you been here? And if they are open enough, sometimes some of them even hide. They don't want to tell you they've been here for a month or two.
Yeah. I don't know why. Why would they hide?
I don't know. It's like they think if they tell you they've been here for a short time, you will underlook them. I don't know why they do that, but
Wait, have
so
you ever
I
met
don't know the reason behind that, but yeah, sometimes they hide.
Africans who pretend they're not Africans?
Yeah.
Me too. I've met Africans, I
I
can tell.
even know some Rwandans who pretend they're not from Rwanda.
Yeah, me too. I've met like some
There
Kenyans.
are so many.
They just pretend like even they don't know your language, or
Mm-hmm,
someone in fact
mm-hmm.
recently lied to me straight up. I asked them, "Where are you from?" And they said South Carolina. And then I asked them, "Where are you from? Like, where are you from?" And they were like, "Yeah, I'm from here in the United States, in South Carolina." And I was like, "Bro, I can, even before your accent, I can see you, how you look. You are an African, you know." You can never miss an African.
No, you cannot. You
you,
cannot.
I did some vlog a few months back, and I was like, I was in Charlottesville this one time, Virginia, and I was just walking by, and my mind was too preoccupied, and this black man was just coming towards me, and the moment we locked eyes, he gave me the universal black people sign. He did this to me, and I did this to him, and he was like,
Yeah,
he did the Wakanda thing, and
yeah.
then we passed each other. He was like, "Brother, where are you from?" Just like that, not even hi, how are you, brother, where are you
Mm.
from? I said, I'm from Kenya. And he said, I'm from Guinea-Bissau. We beast pumped and walked away. That was a total stranger.
Yeah,
And I was
that
like,
was, yeah.
an African, you will see an African from miles away. Even
And
even
me, when I meet a fellow African here,
yeah.
it's like I've met my own. Like it doesn't matter whether you're from Rwanda or I go on talking to them. I'm like, oh, this is an African. Like if I meet a Kenyan, if I meet a Ugandan or West Africans, I will
Yeah.
always go to them and I will talk to them.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't know why people really don't. They They
And
don't want to, yeah, they pretend they're not Africans. They
they
pretend they're
pretend
not from Kenya or Rwanda. They pretend. I
they've
think
not
it's
been
because
in
of
the
this America thing. They feel so comfortable and confident when they're Americans than when they're Africans. And that's just nonsense.
Yeah, that's just someone who has no identity in my view.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The
Well,
other day I met before,
yeah,
we
sure,
can
sure.
talk
Let's go.
and talk and talk.
Me, I'm
I met
okay. I'm not, unless you want to go somewhere. Me, I'm just fine. I was looking at you. I don't want to keep you for long. But for me,
I have
today's
like the next 15 minutes, so we can
yeah.
use that before I go pick up the kids. So
Okay.
I met, sometimes I meet a lot of people think I'm from Ethiopia more
Mm-hmm.
than they think I'm from Rwanda.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that a lot. Even sometimes from my fellow Rwandans,
Yeah.
they look at me, they think I'm from Ethiopia. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So
It's the
the other day
forehead.
I met an Ethiopian woman.
Yeah.
She looked at me from a distance. I was walking towards her. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I got close to her, she talked to me in their language. And I was like, what did you say? She said, I got you. Where are you from?
Yeah.
And I told her I'm from Rwanda. And I asked her, did you think I'm from Ethiopia? She said, yeah.
Yeah. Is it the?
But
Is
when I talked to you and you didn't respond now, that's when I knew you're not from Ethiopia. And I get that a lot. Like a lot, most of the times I like Ethiopians, they come straight up to me, they talk to me in their language, and I'm like, I don't speak. And sometimes they say, no. But there's no way you cannot say you're not from Ethiopia because you look like Ethiopians. And when I say I'm from Rwanda, then oh yeah. So yeah. There are some
yeah.
Ethiopians who look like Rwandans and some Rwandans who look like Ethiopians. And so the reason why I'm talking about this, like me, there's no way I'm gonna hide that I'm not African. Either I'm from
Yeah.
Rwanda or Ethiopia.
Yeah. The forehead will betray you.
I
Yeah.
don't know what they look at, but there's no, even before I speak, there's no I'm gonna hide that I'm
Yeah.
African.
And I've
It
met.
cannot. There are a lot of things that will betray me personally.
Yeah.
You talk, the way you walk, the way
And you see, like the Africans who even will develop that American tongue, like
Accent.
yeah, that American accent, just to prove
To
a point.
confuse
I'm an
to, yeah.
American. Oh,
Yeah.
bro, that's crazy. And so to answer PK's question, why most Africans might be either misleading or not willing to share information, I think, and this is something maybe we can talk about next time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In my view, sometimes the people that you don't know here in America, like other people from all over the world, not your African friends, will help you more than your African people.
That's
Will be
very,
willing,
very true. That's
yeah,
very true.
they will be willing to give you opportunities more than your African people. I have been in jobs where my own African people wanted me to be fired, wanted my downfall. Like
Mm-hmm.
your own African people in a job, if you work a job and you share the same responsibilities with
They
African
always
people,
want to take you down,
they want to take you
put
out.
you down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
take you out, put you down.
they don't have a problem with the white people or any other person. They just have a problem with their fellow
With
African people.
you fellow African.
Yeah. So it's like they want to make sure that they're the only African that is standing tall there, you know. If you're two Africans in the same room, you cannot be friends with them. They will try to take you down. And
I
if
know.
you're listening to this, do not be that kind of African who's hunting their fellow Africans. So I
Yeah.
don't know why. My first experience was in Virginia. The first Kenyans I interacted with, I saw a lot of negativity. But again, I've always had a lot of confidence in my abilities and in my skills, and I always knew what I wanted. So I came out here strongly, saying this is what I want. And people look at me like, who do you think you are? You just came. Why
You
are you
are.
telling? Yeah, you're telling
You
us
just
that you
came
want this.
here. You have no idea.
Yeah, you have no idea what it is like. But for me, so it's the mindset thing. For me, I knew I had done a lot of research before I left. I knew my skills are worth this amount of money. So even in my job search, I was looking for jobs above 25 an hour. And that was just new. But
Yeah.
the people I'm interacting with, the people that I'm
They're telling
interacting
you,
with,
no. You have to start at $10 an hour,
they're telling me
$12. There's
about
no way you're gonna
$10.
start at 20
Yeah.
above 25 when you just came here.
I'm like, bro, are you telling me that my mom went all through all that trouble to put me through college to come flip burgers for $10? All that
I
American
know.
dream and how expensive it was. Are you telling me it was for this $10? No, me, I know I want this. So because of you knowing what you want, people perceived me as maybe I don't know how. And I found a lot of backlash in that. So that's when I realized, oh, and you know me, I was just being very loud about it because these were my African people. So I thought I could share with them my
Yeah.
dreams and plans. But I realized now that was a problem. Not the more you tell them about your dreams, the more they want to kill you.
The more they hate you, the more they wanna kill them.
Yeah. So
The more they wanna kill your dreams.
yeah, it's a familiarity thing. Familiarity breeds contempt. Yeah, your own people here in America will try to put you down as compared to other people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I have a friend, like I told you, I interact with many Africans. So he's from Kenya. He's from your country. So I him and I told him, oh, you know what? Some in the weekend I was in this party, in this area. I don't wanna, I don't wanna mention all this because you never know who will watch this. So I told him where I was, and I told him I met a lot of Kenyans there. And I told him, so maybe next time we go together, you go see your people there. They're nice people there. And I was like, oh, no. I already have a lot of problems myself. I don't want to add more by interacting with those Kenyans. And he's from Kenya. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He said, no. I don't want to interact with them. I know they have. I already have my own problem, so I don't want to add more. So
Yeah.
I would rather stay here in my peace than
Yeah.
bringing all those people in my life. I'm like, oh, Africans.
For sure. Like, that's how I feel myself. Like, I've been in situations where people are inviting me for parties, get-togethers, even those WhatsApp groups for Kenyans, I usually don't participate. I feel like it adds more into my poor mental health. I already am dealing with a lot in my mind. No,
I
I need
know.
my mental health to be straight. And interacting with Kenyans, out of 10, 9 of them are not good people. And if most of them want to know about you so that they can talk about you in those WhatsApp
Oh,
groups.
really?
Yeah, yeah. Like I've been in those WhatsApp groups. If it's not, bro, it's just BS. People just do not talk about anything important. And in my view, I came here to hunt. But if you're not sharing information, because let's share information on how to move
Yeah.
forward.
Let's share
Don't just
information of why we came here.
why we
That
came
thing that
here.
we talked about,
Yeah.
why we came here. We came here to look for money, to look for better life. So if you're not sharing information about better life and how to upgrade and get me
Yeah.
to the next level, what are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Are you telling me that I just put in 16 hours extra shift for me to make $300 so that we can meet on Saturday for nyamachoma for drinks and waste that $300 that I made? I just worked overtime and made $300. Now you're telling me let's meet on Saturday for drinks and drink that $300. Now what have I done with my life?
So
I'd
now
rather
you're not
just
trying. So now they'll be like, oh, so Joe is not social. He's selfish. He's
Yeah, let
selfish. He
me. No,
doesn't.
I'm not social. I don't even look for friends. I usually say it and I'm not afraid to say it. I don't look for friends. I don't want friends. I don't want quitter. I don't want people who are not in the same forward-minded thinking. You know, you'd rather have two people in your life that are positive, that are pushing you forward, that you guys are motivating each other.
Are
You're learning.
building each other. I
You're building.
totally agree with you, Joe, like
Yeah,
100%. Even me myself, don't listen at me and think that I'm that. Even me, I
yeah,
have few friends, those that we talk about life,
yeah, yeah,
life and the good things in life. If
yeah.
you're talking BS,
No,
you don't have me. You don't have me.
I'm not there, bro. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to talk about drinking. I don't want to talk about girls. I don't want to talk about cars. I don't want to talk about things that are not making me money.
Constructive things that
They're
are
not.
making you better.
Yeah, I'm not leaving that conversation feeling educated, feeling motivated,
Mm-hmm.
feeling
Mm-hmm.
rejuvenated. Why would I be
Mm-hmm.
in that WhatsApp group if the only purpose of that WhatsApp group is when someone dies, they will contribute for me? Bro,
And you're
let
just
me
there for that.
yeah, let me go work and buy life insurance or buy something else.
Exactly.
Like you can, and people will talk. Either you do good or bad, people will talk.
Yeah.
So do not be in a group of people because you're afraid of them talking. Let them talk. They will talk during the day, and during the night, they will go to bed.
Even if you're not there, they'll have something to talk about you. Even if you're there or not, even if you people talk. That's what they do.
That's
We
what they
talk.
do. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I, I'm like that friend of yours. I ran the opposite direction. I was the last. I was in a job where I met a Kenyan, and she was a superior. She was like a manager, but in a different department. She came for a training in our department, and I had her last name. And when we were introducing ourselves, she had my last name. And then after the session, after the session, she came to me and asked me point blank, "Umetoka wapi? Like, where are you from?" And they said, Kenya. We started talking in Swahili. And then later on, we bumped each other again on the hallway. And she was like, "Where do you go to church? You should come to this church. There are so many Kenyans, blah, blah, blah." That was her pitch. And the moment she said there are so many Kenyans, in my mind, in my mind, I knew I am not going there. Yeah, the moment she said there's so many Kenyans, you should come, I was like, okay, that was it. I never stepped
I'm
my
not
foot.
coming.
I'm not coming. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah. So.
All right, Joe, I'll have to go. My time is up.
All right. I'm glad that you are able to spend time with us, and welcome again.
Yes, I will. I will. Thank you so much for having me. I hope and pray that whatever we are talking here, whatever we are sharing here, is just to inspire people. It's just to build people, to influence them and inspire them positively, in a positive way. That's the only, that's the only goal. We are not discouraging people. We are not trying to, we are also not even like talking about people in a negative way, but everything that we are sharing here is to build people, to construct them, to bring up, to inspire them in another way. And also to prepare those people who are planning to come here.
Yeah, I think our point
that America is a bed of roses. Keep going.
Our point on talking about our African communities, well, the reason you left Africa is not to come here and make friends. You came here to get paid. So hang around people that will help you to get paid. That's it. In terms of
that's it.
That's it. Hang around people that are going to promote your getting paid, not to make friends. Friends, you will make a lot of friends when you get paid. But do not come here, clock in, and then go. Just, yeah, just waste it. And then in terms of jobs, I know if you're listening to this and you're in Africa, you feel like a job is everything that you need at this moment. It's okay, because even for us, that's all we needed at first. And then you realize you come here, you get a job, but you're not happy. So I hope you develop that mindset of developing skills that you can use apart from employment, because that's the true American dream. The true American dream is being able to use your skills to earn an income. But for those who use hourly, sell their time, clock in, clock out to earn an income, they will never see the American dream. But for those who can do their own thing, use a skill to earn a living, that's where the American dream is found. So I hope you're blessed with those insights. And if you have a different view, you're always welcome to comment on the comment section.
All right. Thank you so much, Joe, for having me. And your people, I'll see you next time.
Thank you for coming, and be blessed.
You too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.